They called him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Pretty Richie's what they called him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome. Pretty Richie Fantasy Football World here. Just wanted to go over some Week 16 tips, updates, giving you the gravy, grits, and butter, baby, for Week 16 from a real life perspective and also from a fantasy perspective, too. Real life and fantasy, baby. Can't have one without the other. Yes, sir. So, with that being said, tonight, I just want to give everybody a tip. Listen, it's December. It's cold outside. Winds are going to be blowing. So, unless one of your fantasy players is going to be playing like in Miami or, uh, uh, a geographical location where the weather is relatively nice in comparison to what's going on around the vast majority of the other leagues, the other stadiums. If a team is playing in the dome, you can disregard and let it be a fast track play for that player, okay? But for the most part, it's wintertime, okay? This is the running back time to shine, okay? So if you stuck between two players, between a stud or pretty decent um, wide receiver to play over a running back, go with the running back. I do that anyway. That's just a personal preference of mine to go with the running back because I'm just a running back type of guy. When I played sports, I was the running back. So I'm impartial to playing running back, and we get the running backs get the ball more often, just second behind the quarterback of that team. So start your running backs before you start a wide receiver, especially in the cold weather. It's cold outside, so you can't start. I mean, you're gonna start Justin Jefferson. You're gonna start your bona fide number ones. But if you're stuck between a wide receiver three and a RB3, go with the running back. It's cold outside, especially a big body running back. That's why AJ Dillon's starting to boom. I told you that long time ago that this was going to be the time where AJ Dillon and Derrick Henry been booming all year, but a player like AJ Dillon who's thick body, they gonna get the ball, they gonna get the rock this time of year, and they still trying to make the playoffs. So they're gonna do that game management thing and beat the cold weather, you know. So we're gonna go with the first game Thursday night is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Jets. It's saying that the inclement weather is going to be raining and cold and God knows what else here in Jersey. So Trevor Lawrence is going to be a sit. Zach Wilson is going to be a sit because he throws too many interceptions. He's too volatile in position. So yes, you can go ahead with that. Bench Trevor Lawrence, okay? Even though if you had to start his pass catching Jacoby Jones, you got to because he been doing this thing. I like him. Donovan Knight, you got to start him. He's going to have a good game. He's going to be running the ball. Like I said, in inclement weather, I can guarantee you that the running backs is going to get most of the gravy touches. You're going to go with the running back for the Jaguars, Travis Etienne. He's booming. He's getting enough volume where you can plug him as a RB2. He can get you anywhere from 60 to 60 to 90 yards rushing, a touchdown, 3 catches out of the backfield, and another 20 yards tonight against the Jets in this bad weather. Uh, as far as Christian Kirk, if you have a better play, you can go ahead and bench Christian Kirk. Even though he's been so good for you moving this so far, you can bench Christian Kirk in this bad weather. He might, and the Jets have a good team and a good defense rather, and they're still playing to make it into the playoffs. So you got to go with him. Okay, you have to go with him like as a low and flex because he's probably only going to get you maybe He'll probably be targeted about 5 times. He may only get 3 or 4 catches for like 40 yards. I don't think he's going to get a touchdown though. So that's my prediction for Christian Kirk. I know a lot of people want to know that for tonight's game. As far as for the scoring opportunities, this is going to be more like a 21-17 type of game. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be nasty. Like I would stay away from this game if you had any skill positional players. Garrett Wilson, I think he's still going to be serviceable this week, even though it's a bad game. It's a bad weather script for him and everything like that. But I still think you got to fire Garrett Wilson because Wilson's going to look towards him a lot. Okay, and that's all I really start. You can start both defenses. I think both defenses are going to do relatively well from a fantasy perspective. So, yes, sir. Next game is going to be the Eagles and Cowboys. We all know that Jalen Hurts is out. They're banging the door on that. So that's that. Gardner Minshew, a lot of people big on him. Well, not a lot of people, but enough people are big on him. So if you want to fire him up, feel free to do so. You know, especially in the 2-quarterback league, if you want to fire Gardner Minshew up, I mean, he's got all the weapons. Dallas Goedert is back at the tight end position. He's very superior at the skill position there. You also have AJ Brown. You know, he's been killing it. You have you also have my man. He's been doing good as well on the opposite side of what's his name there? On the other side of AJ Brown there. Devontae Smith. Yeah, Devontae Smith been killing it too. I think there's going to be a higher scoring game because Dallas is so upset after losing to the Jaguars last week. So I think Dak Prescott's going to come out playing with a chip on his shoulder. This is a divisional game. It's a tough game. They play each other tough every year, every game. The Eagles, we all know when they have one loss, they're not really playing for a whole lot this week. So, but I still think that Gardner Minshew is going to have enough competitiveness to make it a game. He's going to keep up with guys. Cowboys. I think Cowboys is going to beat the Eagles this week because the Jalen Hurts factor. But you're going to start, if you got A.J. Brown, you're going to fire him up. You got Devontae Smith, you're going to fire him up. If you got Dallas Goedert, you can fire him up unless you got a better option at the position. Yes, sir. The Cowboys, you're going to fire them all up. Zeke, Tony Pollard, Dalton Schultz. Those are the 3 heavy hitters you're going to be starting up along with Dak Prescott. Like I said, Dak Prescott may have a very, very sneaky good game because, like I said, he has something to prove. That interception that lost the game last week, he's going to come out on all 8 cylinders with a point to prove. I think he can get you anywhere between. He might get 3 passing touchdowns. He's going to throw probably 2 interceptions though, because the Philadelphia Eagles defense is that good. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to the next game. The Falcons and the Ravens. Okay. I don't feel comfortable starting anybody except for Algier, the running back. Tyler Algier, you can start him up. It's going to be a running game. They're going to get him involved in that game there. Like I said, it's cold. So the running backs are going to have a primary responsibility, primary touches in that game, in these games moving forward in week 16 and 17. You got what's his name from Drake London. Drake London, I would not start him against the Ravens. I think the Ravens are going to shut him down. I think they're going to get after the rookie quarterback enough to disrupt them where they're going to be relegated to just running the ball with Tyler Algier. And with the Ravens, they say Tyler Huntley is going to get the start. I would not start any pass catchers on here except for Mark Andrews if you have him. But you're going to have to lower your expectations because he's the only show in town when it comes to pass catchers. And when it comes to running game, J.K. Dobbins, you got to fire him up. He's going to be nice. Yes, you fire up J.K. Dobbins. Yeah, fire up J.K., baby. Yes, sir. And that's all I would really. I mean, if you wanted to start the Baltimore Ravens defense, you can do that. They may be good for 8 fantasy points this week. Detroit Lions and Panthers. Yes, you want to fire them all up. Okay, you got the. Let me see where they playing at. They're playing in North Carolina. North Carolina is not too bad. Okay, as far as the weather from the weather component. So you can fire everybody up as expected. I know I told you guys to start Deontay Foreman last week. He didn't say he dudded you, but he didn't have a boom game that we fantasy owners would like and need during this time of the fantasy playoffs. But you still can fire him out just from the opportunities that he's going to get. You still got to fire him up as a flex play. Okay, versus the Lions. I think there's always a potential to be a high scoring game with the Lions because Jared Goff is playing out of his mind, which forces the opposing team to try to keep up, and that produces fantasy points. DJ Moore is the start. He's going to be killing it, and the quarterback loves him. The dude from the Jets, or Darnold. I never was a fan of his, but when it comes to fantasy, like I said, you got to set that aside and say, look, this is for fantasy purposes. But Sam Darnold never impressed me when he was with the Jets. He still doesn't, but he has made DJ Moore fantasy relevant because of the many passes that he provides to him. Okay, so and also the other wide receiver on the other side of him, the second wide receiver, he can be a sneaky play as well. I forget his name. Terrace Marshall. There you go, Terrace Marshall. With so much attention being applied to DJ Moore, Terrace Marshall could eat in this game. Okay, he may have anywhere between 7 to 8 targets, 4 to 5 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown. That's his ceiling. You're gonna fire Amar St. Brown. He's still killing. He's still the bona fide wide receiver one in that offense. DJ Chark is a sneaky flex play as well. Like I said, why they're paying so much attention to these number one wide receivers. DJ Chark eat. Okay. On to the next game, Seahawks versus the Chiefs. Like I said, it's wintertime. It's December. It's wintertime. It's that time of year for the running back. Okay, not that anybody was ever going to sit the rookie running back for the Seattle Seahawks, and you know what I mean. But he's definitely noteworthy to go ahead and start. Kenneth Walker's been killing it. Okay, they're going to have to rely on the run game. You got DK Metcalf at the wide receiver position. He's going to be super high per target, especially with Lockett out. I don't know if Lockett's going to come back this week. I'm not sure. I don't think he's going to come back this week, though. And if that's the case, DK Metcalf is going to probably be my wide receiver of the week. Marquise Goodwin's going to be filling in for Tyler Lockett. I would not start him. I mean, he could be a sneaky. Like a lot of people like doing that real cut edge moves and stuff like that. You can go ahead. You can feel free and start Marquise Goodwin if you want to, but I wouldn't do it. Yes, sir. On to the next game is going to be The Saints, the Browns. I know it's going to be cold there. If you have the Browns defense, I would definitely consider playing them against the Saints. It's going to be cold. That's another cold game. It gets cold in Cleveland. Yes, sir. It gets cold in Cleveland. And I think this is going to be a running game. They're going to try to get Alvin Kamara heavily involved to protect Andy Dalton, but I just don't see it happening. Deshaun Watson's coming into his zone. I think this is going to be a big victory for the Browns, and I think with them being home in that cold weather, I don't think that the Saints are going to have too much to say about giving up that dub. On to the next game, the Texans. I will not play anybody from there. Nobody. The Titans, you want to fire all the skill position players. Even Malik Willis is a sneaky play. They're going to have to run the ball because Derrick Henry can't do it all himself. And you know this is going to be a heavy run game. This is a Derrick Henry game, especially with the quarterback going down, and they have to start the rookie quarterback in there. The Bengals and the Patriots. You're going to start everybody up. Do not start anyone other than on the Patriots other than running back Ramondre Stevenson. I know y'all been reading reports about him being limited in practice and stuff like that, but he's going to be good to go. He had a monster game last week. He did not have any setbacks. The team is just resting him. So you go ahead and you start Ramondre Stevenson. I would not start any other skill positional player. They're talking about benching Mac Jones and everything, and Zappy may be coming in there to bring it over and be the quarterback for that team. And you got Jacoby Myers is still hurt. Like, I would stay away from any pass catchers in that game, if possible. And on the Bengals side, T. Higgins, he's been practicing all week. It's been a full go all week, so you can fire up T. Higgins. Jamar Chase, Hurst is still out. Hayden Hurst, the tight end, he's still out. So that's going to give Higgins and Jamar Chase some more touches. Tyler Boyd is a risky flex play. I wouldn't play him this week. The Giants and the Vikings, that's going to be a good game, but the Vikings already locked up that division, so that I don't know how hard that they're going to play. The Giants just knocked off Washington last week, so they still have something to play for. So Saquon Barkley's going to have a game. I don't trust any other of the wide receivers. Richie James, you can play him in the flex. You know what I mean? They're playing at Minnesota. I'm not really crazy about that. Okay, next is the Bills and the Bears. You're going to fire both quarterbacks because they're both dual threat. They both got the legs. They take it to the house any given time, and this is going to be a control the clock game. Control the clock game. You can start David Montgomery. Obviously, you're going to start Devin Single and Cook on the other end. As far as the pass catchers, with it being this cold and stuff like this, this time of year, you can start just the wide receiver ones for the Buffalo Bills. Stephon Diggs is the only one who I see that is worthy to start. You can start Cole Kmet as a pass catcher for Justin Fields, but that's about it. I wouldn't start Claypool. I don't even know if he's going to play yet. He don't know what he's going to play. So with that being said, on to the next game, the Commanders and the 49ers. You're going to obviously going to start all the skill positional players there. Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk is a decent start. George Kittle, you can play. For the Commanders, it's just going to be I would bench Heineke if possible, because the 49ers has their defense is 10 times better than the Giants defense, and the Giants defense ate Heineke up last week. I don't know if it was because of the divisional game, but either way, Heineke did not He did not look good. Just defending playoffs, you got to do what you got to do. You can start Brian Robinson, though, for the Commanders. Even though the 49ers has a great defense, you still got to start him up as a flex, as an RB. Put him in your flex. Okay, and that's pretty much moving on to the next game. The Raiders and the Steelers, you're going to fire up Josh Jacobs. Obviously, is a low in RB1. He should get you 100 yards rushing in this game, a touchdown, maybe three catches for another 20 yards, like he always do. You can fire him up for that. You start Darren Waller. He's Devontae Adams. You're gonna fire up. Okay, he's going to get you anywhere between 9 to 11 targets, 8 catches for another 120 yards and a touchdown against the Steelers. Yes, sir. Fire him up as usual. And on the Steelers side, is to make sure you guys are starting up Najee Harris. Okay, he's doing his thing. He's the bona fide running back in that position, in that backfield rather, and he's getting all the volume. So you got to roll with him, and it's a good matchup. It's a pretty good matchup. Next is going to be the Packers and the Dolphins. Okay, obviously you're going to start Christian Watson. He's booming. This is going to be a high scoring game. I'm telling you now, especially if it's played in it's played in Miami. So this is gonna be a high scoring game. You gotta start both quarterbacks, Tua and Rodgers, and start Tyreek Hill. Obviously, you want to fire up. Excuse me. Jalen Waddles is definitely a start. He doesn't get as many looks as Tyreek Hill, but he's very efficient with his touches. He only needs a good 5 catches, and he's going to do a lot with that. The other week when he went for like a 60-yard touchdown pass. So you're not going to sit these guys. Now, Mike Gesicki, you can sit. You can throw him straight in the trash. Keep him on your bench. If he's on your bench, drop him for somebody else. For real, because he's been bad this year. He cost a lot of people a lot of fantasy football playoff championships. Okay, so Robert Tonyan, you can play him. He's only good for like 2 or 3 catches and maybe like 20 yards. That's his ceiling. That's been his ceiling for the last 3 weeks. But you're going to fire up Christian Watson and Allen Lazard. That's going to be a good matchup, even though Christian Watson is the bona fide number 1. You're going to fire up A.J. Dillon. A.J. Dillon is a must start. He's been a must start for the last 3 weeks. So just go ahead and plug him in. He's the running back to own it. Aaron Jones is still startable. You can still start him as your RB3. On to the next game. It's going to be the Broncos and the Rams. Latavius Murray is the only one who I could think of that's noteworthy to play. I would not start Russell Wilson unless you absolutely have to, because if it's a 2-quarterback league. Do not start Baker Mayfield. But I got burnt by playing Baker Mayfield. I thought he was going to do the thing. He got 12 fantasy points last week against the Packers. That was the sorriest performance at the quarterback position I probably ever seen in my life, because I paid real close attention because I had him going as my QB2 in the quarterfinals in the fantasy playoffs, and he dudded me like that. So please don't ever learn from my mistakes. Do not start Baker Mayfield, especially against the Broncos. The Broncos have a very good defense. Next game is going to be the Buccaneers and the Cardinals. You go ahead and you fire up Tom Brady. Tom Brady's probably going to be my quarterback start of the week going up against the Arizona Cardinals. Even though he's not a dual threat quarterback, he does not run the ball, but his weapons are in Evans and Godwin and Leonard Fournette and Shai White. They all catch passes from Tom Brady. He don't need no legs when he got superior legs like that. Especially this is a plush matchup against the Cardinals. Tom Brady is my start of the week at the quarterback position. Yes. You got Tom Brady. He's going to get you a fantasy football championship barring injury. For the Cardinals, the Cardinals look real bad right now. James Conner is the only one who I really started. DeAndre Hopkins. Outside of those 2 guys, I would not be playing them. I would not be playing anybody else. On to the last game, the Chargers and the Colts. I like Deion Jackson. A lot of people talking about Zach Moss. I said it's like it's that time of year. It's cold on Monday night and stuff like that. So if you want to start up Zach Moss, put him in your flex. I would not expect a lot of high expectations. This is PPR, so he can get a touchdown, but how much other work is he gonna get? Deion Jackson is an all-purpose back, catching passes out of the backfield, and he's getting work in between the lines, in between the tackles and guard. You know what I mean? So he can get a touchdown on the outside and the inside. So I really like Deion Jackson. He's probably my running back start of the week. As far as the Chargers, you're going to fire up everybody. And you got them. Justin Herbert, you're gonna fire up. You're gonna fire up Keenan Allen. You're gonna fire up Mike Williams. You're gonna fire up Austin Eckler. You know what I mean? You just put them in your lineup and don't even think twice about it. Okay, it's not the best matchup, but it's a good enough matchup for you to go ahead and forget about them altogether. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, that is it. But those are my starts and sits for Week 16. Like I said, it's cold out there. It's that time of year. Every game moving forward is played in the cold weather. So you can go ahead and start those running backs for each of those respective teams that you got. If you have a close question between that wide receiver or a tight end or a running back, at this time is the time to go with the running back due to the inclement weather. So with that being said, again, I'm going to sign off. You can find me at PrettyRichie, PrettyRichie11, PrettyRichie1111. And I have a Discord page. I'm on Twitter. I have a Patreon page. Feel free to follow me, hit me up, ask me any questions. And once again, continue to click the like button, subscribe, and join my channel. So with that being said, you guys have a great holiday. Okay, enjoy these games. Just spend time with the family. Drink, but don't drink too much if you do choose to drink. Okay, you don't want get no DUIs, and just chill out by the fireplace, smoke some marshmallows, chill out and enjoy the games. So with that being said, signing off, PrettyRichie, giving you the gravy and extra butter and some sauce. Yes, sir. May the Lord bless the